Yo, people, welcome back to the YouTube channel. You already know what time it is. It's time for another episode of London Clubs Carnage. It's back. Do you know what I'm saying? We got almost official signings. People are turning up at training grounds and doing medicals and whatnot. So there's some excitement in the building. And obviously, you know, Tobs is back from the festival as well. I seen that. It was looking good. So I'm glad he's recovered because I was worried about him. I'm not going to lie. I was worried about him.
What do you mean you were worried about me? I was not.
You was going off in the Big Six group chat. I was worried about you, bro. I was like, yo.
Bro, I was having a great time. I wasn't going up. I was having a good time. It's what you do at festivals.
It's like this brother's going to come back like a vegetable or something.
It's what you do. It's what we do at festivals, Matisse. You have a really good time. Maybe you should get yourself down to a fest. You'd know. Yeah.
I'm busy. I'm working. This summer's for working. It's for working. Lawless, talk to me. How you feeling, bro?
Feeling good, mate. Feeling good. Another week, another signing. So, you know, can't complain, mate. Looking forward to hopefully the next show. I'll be able to talk about another one. Let's make this a weekly thing. New week, new signing. So yeah, mate, I'm good.
And Potts, bro, how you feeling? How you feeling at the moment?
Listen, I think all Arsenal fans are starting to get a little bit more excited. So it's been good to wake up and see that we're starting to do some business now. So yeah, man, I'm happy with the signing. We'll talk about, I'm sure. And long may it continue, man. But good to see you free.
Did you get a new haircut?
This was a celebration for the Jesus signing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's got to be done, man.
Tobes, how you feeling, bro? How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm good. I can't complain. Life is good.
No more movement. It seems that it's gone a bit quiet at Tottenham. Where you guys just?
I don't think. I actually don't think it has gone quiet. I don't think it has gone quiet. I think maybe it's gone quiet on the left centre back front because I think our main targets are looking a little bit unattainable. But I think there's still stuff happening because you got to remember there's outgoings as well as ingoings that we have to make as well. So yeah,
100%. I want to start with Lawless because before we started recording, you just brought up this name that I was just like, there's no way in hell you could bring this player in. And I don't know what it is. Like, since you guys didn't make the Champions League, I feel like the level of player that you can acquire has definitely fallen quite far, especially after not making Europa as well. And you talked about Tielemans. What is this Tielemans link that you're talking about here?
All right, let me just say this, right? Because like Dan was saying, like, oh, who's this player you're linked with? So I'm going with all the ones I've seen on Twitter today. Yeah, Tielemans is the latest player I saw from a good West Ham source, like one of the
ex-employee.
Yeah, ex-employee has said. He didn't say like we're getting Tielemans. It was since movement has slowed down from other clubs trying to get him. That is a player that we're considering attempting to move for, considering he's only got 1 year left at Leicester. He doesn't want to be there, seemingly. We could move for him. That's a link. I didn't say we're getting Tielemans. I also said Richarlison, we're linked with. It's a player. Who knows? We may try it. Don't mean we're going to get it. But sometimes, I said this last week, you've got to be in it to win it. You've got to try. If you don't try...
I look at West Ham, yeah. I look at it as two different ways of doing it. It's either you're taking a player off of one of the big six clubs that is out of favour and needs to move on, like a Lingard or a Zuma, or you're taking a player that is off one of the relegation sides but has talent, maybe like a Dennis or someone. But I don't see you guys taking players that are ready to make that step to a big six club and then you're taking them instead, because you have to also think about it. And this is what's happening right now with Man United and De Jong. Does the player actually really want to come to you, or are they coming to you because it's a last resort? And if they're coming to you for a last resort, are they going to come and actually play for West Ham, or are they just playing, or are they just joining you just to join you? And then you have commitment issues and whatnot. So
as long as they perform, that's the thing. And you say this, right? When we signed Marco Arnautovic, we were roundabouts the same positions as Stoke, right? Arnautovic was far and away their best player. He was someone you could look at who could have took the step up, right? Stoke fans were in absolute shock when we signed him. They're talking about sideward step, all of this, that, and the other. But we went in there, we offered him, good money, and that we had the little London pool and things like that. And we you don't ask, you don't get. We went in and done it. That's what I'm saying. So there's that possibility of these players, like, okay, my move, I'm Tielemans, yeah. This move to whatever club is not materializing. Here's West Ham. They're doing things. They've got Europe. Okay, it's not that Europe that are, Champions League and that, but they've got some Europe. They're showing ambition. It's in London. let me go here and for the next couple of years see what happens. If and whatever happens, if I play well, maybe I can then get that big move, or I can help this club. That's the mindset I'm looking at. If I'm not saying that, okay, if say Spurs come in and say, right, Tielemans, it's us or them, he's going to choose us. What I'm saying is, you got to give it a go. Like, what we got to lose by trying? Honestly, what we got to lose?
Tobs, if you're Tielemans, are you going to West Ham with a year left on your contract on deadline day?
No, you're not. Why would he go to West Ham? That doesn't make sense. He's playing for a club that are probably on a better. That are probably, in fact, no. Leicester are a better club than West Ham. It may not be reflected right now, but when you look at the performance over the last couple of years, where's the step up there for Tielemans? If anything, he's probably taking a step down. He is.
Listen, he's jumping. He's fleeing the ship before it sinks. Yeah? That's what he's doing. He's looking at the future of Leicester and thinking, do you know what? This is a downwards, trend. We're going downwards. I'm not saying relegate, but like he sees the future. Do you know what I mean? And they're sort of falling down the table. Maybe he doesn't believe in Brendan Rodgers. Maybe he looks at him and goes, you know what? Like each time Brendan Rodgers diminishing.
I love this take. I love this take, man. They finished one place below you, and then all of a sudden it's like, wow, they finished 8th, did they not? And then it's like, I've got to look up and see West Ham just above us and go, that's my dream. That's my dream.
No, but I'm so
crazy.
I'm saying like, I'm not
crazy. He's playing with better players currently at Leicester. Yeah, and he wants to leave because he wants to play Champions League football. Why on earth would he go to West Ham?
So why don't one of your dickhead clubs just go and sign him then? Why are you?
I want to sign him.
So why ain't they? Why ain't they then? Why ain't they? In their infamous wisdom.
I still think we might go for him. I still think we might.
But you're not a Champions League club though. You're not even a Champions League.
No, yeah, I know. Listen, I'm not saying we are. I'm just saying that if I still feel that he would rather come to Arsenal over West Ham.
Of course he would. It's not.
Yeah, I'm not saying.
You know.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I think we're going for him. I think we will go in for him. But I don't see him going West Ham.
But wait a minute. If he wants Champions League football, what's the difference? Like, really and truly, yeah, okay, he'd rather go to you. But if he's not getting the dream move he wants, then what's the point? But anyway?
What's my thing from Tielemans' point of view? What's the point of penning a 4 or 5 year contract at West Ham when you've got a year left on your Leicester deal?
Maybe he doesn't.
You just wait one more season and then go for free and have the pick of your options.
Maybe he pens a 2 year. Maybe he pens a 2
year.
You
ain't penning no 2 year new signing. What are you talking about? You're not penning no. I ain't seen nobody sign for a 2 year contract unless they're 37. What are you talking about?
3 years.
Why would he?
Do you honestly think that he'll go to? You honestly think he would consider West Ham, Lawless? Do you think he would consider West Ham?
I'm talking about the scenarios in which that deal.
But do you think it though? But do you think?
I don't think we'll sign him. I don't think we'll sign him. Okay. I think he'd be interested if, like I said, these other clubs are going on long. He's looking at it. Maybe he might look. It depends. Obviously, look, he knows it. How old is he, Tielemans?
25. I think
okay, so 25.
Should be looking.
If I'm him, he better see out his loan deal, and then he's in a stronger position at the end of next season. Stay at Leicester. And then you can move on a free. Then you're in a strong position. If that's what I see him doing, but I'm just
okay. So you just said that's so in your head that's the smart thing to do, right?
Yeah, that's the money that like as a self-interest. But
okay. So you've just said that's the smart thing to do, but then you're making a case for why he should.
I'm just making a case that why it could be. I'm not saying why he should. I'm saying why he might consider West Ham.
He's not going to. You know full well he's not going.
You know he's not going, man.
It's a moot point. It's like me saying, "Oh, PSG want to sell Neymar. He might consider going to Spurs." Absolutely not. He wouldn't consider going to Tottenham. It's a dumb, stupid point. It shouldn't be.
But it's a link it's a legit link. That's what I'm saying.
Who
linked
it again? Who linked
ex-employee?
Do you know what? There has been. Do you know what? Even the best.
If we do, mate, you're in the mud.
Even the best.
Let's put money on it.
Even the best sources
have
some dodgy moments. Even the best sources have some dodgy moments. I was out on Saturday, courtesy to what Toby believes that I stay inside and just like eat cowpole all day. I was actually outside partying. And I seen Cristiano Ronaldo linked with Chelsea from David Ornstein. And just because it was David Ornstein doesn't mean I gave it a shred of my time. I looked at it. I laughed and I moved on. Like Ronaldo is not joining Chelsea. There is absolutely
0%
chance
we're
of
gonna
that
get Tielemans. I'm not saying we.
Yeah, I know,
are,
but you got to hold your source by the throat and say, listen, stop fucking around.
Listen,
Chelsea,
you know,
breaking news: Rafinha, Chelsea.
What's breaking news?
They're moving for Raphinha.
Is that? Are you playing with me?
I'm not playing with you. Matt Law's respond.
Oh Jesus!
Oh, don't fuck with
you,
me here because
the guy that you
warned.
lost off. He just said Chelsea is giving serious consideration to Raphinha bid.
Yes, I just seen it.
That Dan's like face. He looks like his heart's breaking.
Delicious.
Just live on air.
No, it's calm. It's calm. It's calm.
Delicious. They've been gassing.
Bro, they've been gassing. They've been gassing. I put up a video a couple days
Newcastle,
ago.
Samba football.
Everyone wants it.
I put up a video a couple days ago on the weekend saying everything you need to know about Raphinha with a Leeds fan, right? A little scouting report. And comment section flooded with Arsenal fans saying, thank you for the scouting report, Matisse. Thank you from Arsenal fans. I'm like, did you sign him already? But I just said, you know what? Cool. You're welcome. No problem, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. I swear, if you don't get this one over the line, it's going to be mwah.
But if you're Raphinha, who do you choose? Do you choose Chelsea or do you choose Arsenal?
Chelsea every day of the week.
Yeah, you choose Chelsea. But he wants to go Barcelona from what... Listen, let's not go into... I guess we're going to talk Raphinha later, are we? I don't know. But I was just going to say Barcelona is where he wants to go from, if you believe reports. And they've apparently going to accept De Jong. So... I think it wouldn't
contract negotiations.
So that's the big thing. So if Dembele is not going to go, and Dembele is not going to go Chelsea, then perhaps it's going to be a fight for Raphinha between Arsenal, Chelsea, and Barcelona. And out of those three, if Barcelona ain't going to do it because they keep Dembele, I think he probably will go. Well, he definitely will go Chelsea over. I believe he would anyway. I don't know why he would choose us over you. So
Dembele's contract situation is meant to come to a head in the next 72 hours. He's meant to make a decision. Barcelona won't offer him more. They won't offer him what he's demanding. They're only offering a certain amount. That's what their offer is. We won't offer him what he's demanding, but we'll offer more than Barcelona. So whoever Dembele chooses out of us and Barcelona, I assume the other team, like you said, will go for Raphinha. And obviously Deco's his agent, and Deco used to play for Barca and used to play for Chelsea. But from what I know, the pecking order is Barca, Chelsea, Arsenal, and it goes like that because obviously you guys are not in the Champions League. But also, and I was going to ask you this before we get to Gabriel Jesus, who's also a player that can play on the right wing. Saka plays there. I know you can rotate, and we've been talking about Arsenal need a bigger squad and whatnot, but he'd be coming into our team to start, in my opinion, immediately because Ziyech is meant to be going to Milan, and he's better than Ziyech anyway. Like, undoubtedly for me, better than Ziyech. So you guys, would you even be... I mean, I'd assume you'd be offering him starter minutes, but then Saka, would he be moving to the left, or is Saka then becoming a rotational player? Because Saka's had a great season.
Yeah, Saka's had a great season, and he can play left-footed. He can play left. Raphinha will be right. Jesus down the middle. That's what people are saying. But like you say, the Arsenal fans are making out that we've already signed this guy, so we need to make sure that happens. Say again?
No, I said you're right. I was seeing Samba football at the Emirates. Call it Arsenal instead of Arsenal. You see now with the NAL with the I was seeing. You know what? It's not even done yet because you lot could end up signing Raphinha. But boy, what I would give,
it's apparently like pretty like good rumours, like advanced stages, whatever that means. But if Chelsea are coming in, I imagine Raphinha. What would the pull be to come to Arsenal? What would it be? I don't know. That's a genuine question. What would the pull be to choose Arsenal over Chelsea? Brazilian players with him.
Brazilians,
yeah, exactly. The couple of other Brazilian players. Maybe he's close with Jesus and he's close with Gabriel and he's close with Martinelli. I don't know. I ain't got a clue. But I know that Edu Paul will be there. Edu will be talking to him. All the Brazilians will be around him, giving him this Brazilian hug, saying, "Come on, please come this way." But I reckon if you're got anything
We've
about
got a couple
you,
Brazilians too.
Exactly. You'd head over to Chelsea. So that's true. Yeah. So I think it would be pretty nailed on that he would choose Chelsea above us because you're in the Champions League and you're still going places. It's not like Romans left, Chelsea are now getting relegated. It's not those situations like some people are trying to make out. It's you're still going to be up there, man. So if you come in, I think it's bad news for Arsenal.
If we can't get Dembele, which at this point, whatever happens at this point, he'd be a great talent, but obviously fitness wise, we don't know if he'd survive. Whereas Raphinha is actually tried and tested in the Premier League fitness wise. For me, Raphinha would be the only other player that I can see right now, realistically, that would be a good alternative to Dembele because he's going to give us something different.
Are you not in for Richarlison, though? Is that dead?
We are, but I don't think Richarlison helps our creativity issue. I think Richarlison would be the person that would, rival Kai Havertz for the starting position up top and get goals and help us finish. Because he does have a decent scoring record at Everton, despite playing for a team that have been a bit all over the place since they've had money. And I've also seen Nazar Cancelo saying at Goal that Tottenham are about to move for Richarlison. So we'll speak about that in a minute. But I think Raphinha is needed if we don't get Dembele, because we do have a little bit of a creativity issue as well, especially against low blocks at home, against teams at Stamford Bridge. We do struggle to unlock the door. And I was seeing something like Raphinha's created he's the only other player to create over 100 big chances, along with Mane in like last 2 seasons, something crazy like that, in a Leeds team. And the only issue I have with Raphinha, which is more our problem, is the fact that we play with these narrow 10s, and his heat map, and he's best off the touchline, taking players on 1v1. And that's the same issue with Ziyech, although Ziyech is nowhere near as quick and can't go past players, which is why I don't rate him as high. But I feel like we do need to get to a point where we actually start playing with wingers, or at least tuck in the wing backs or something. But that's a whole nother conversation. Toby, before I get to Lawless and how Raphinha could potentially go to West Ham, how highly do you rate Raphinha? Because I know he was linked to him in January, innit?
We bid 50 mil.
You sound like Wenger. You know when Wenger was saying that
for everyone,
Messi and Ronaldinho.
We bid for Phillips and for Raphinha in January, and they're legit. We actually bid 50 mil and got rejected.
And where are both those players now?
Yeah, but let's be real. Like, obviously, Leeds ain't gonna sell in a relegation battle. Let's be real. They, if they would have sold Raphinha or Phillips to us, they'd be down right now.
But why would Raphinha accept that?
What do you mean, why would he accept that? Maybe because he don't want to be part of a relegation battle.
But no, why would he have? Even if they weren't in a relegation battle, why would he have accepted a move to West Ham?
Because they don't want to be in a relegation battle. It's a good offer. Come in. Like, no one else. Who else?
You're not answering my question. Why would he choose you when he knows he can go to better clubs?
Sorry, do you know Raphinha? Are you?
I don't need to know Raphinha.
You got him on.
I don't need to know Raphinha. You've got Barcelona who are interested in him this summer.
Okay.
Confirmed. You've got
Barcelona.
You've got Arsenal who are interested in this summer. Confirmed. You got Spurs who are interested in this summer. Confirmed. You got Chelsea who are interested in him this summer. Confirmed. So those are 4 teams who are unequivocally better than West Ham.
Yeah, but that's the summer. That's the summer. We're talking January.
I have to ask again. Even if it was you made the move in January, why would
8 months?
Why would he choose to go to you in January when he knows come summer he could have the pick of better clubs?
Yeah, but I know, but none of you lot were linked with him, and like Barcelona's a non-star because they're never paying the fee.
Lay off the spice, please.
I'm just wait. This is the thing.
West Ham are getting no respect.
You get yourself, You get yourself.
Cresswell's ruined the show for us.
You get yourself all worked up, all the time. When I mention links,
I'm not getting worked up.
You're getting worked up over links, legit links. I just said. We bid for him in January. You're like, what makes you think that he would come to you?
Did you actually think you could get him? Did you actually think you could get him in January?
You couldn't get him. There was no.
No, because I told you that. I said there's no way. Like I said it at the time. Why are we bidding for players that they won't? That Leeds will never sell to us.
But it's not about that. But my point is,
it's not about Leeds selling him. It's saying why. I said why would he accept your offer? Even if Leeds did opt to sell him, he wouldn't accept your offer.
But we don't know because it never got that far. It never got that far.
No, but we do know because he clearly has aspirations to play for a bigger club.
Yeah,
we know that.
But the point
doesn't make sense what you're saying.
But the point is, all right, but look at this. Arsenal, when they were shit, they signed Ozil, Arsenal signed Ozil when they.
What do you mean when Arsenal was shit, they signed Ozil? Hold on a second.
It's not.
That's not a comparison, Lawless.
And I hate to use.
That's not a comparison. You can't compare yourself to Arsenal when Arsenal was shit. When were they fourth?
No, but come on now. They weren't like Ozil. Could he have gone to a better club? Like, could he gone to a challenging club?
Well, I don't know.
But what I'm saying is, there are times, and all I'm saying is, I'm not saying that we would have, and he would choose Raphinha, he would choose us. But I'm saying there are times where clubs get players and they punch above their weight. It's their times. And what I say to you, get in early. You get in early. You make the right offer. It's not as binary and black and white as Tobs is making out.
Yes, it is.
Like,
but this,
it's not players.
Yes, it is. Yes,
it's
it
not
is.
just
Because
as clear cut as that.
Yes, it really is. Yes, it really is.
No.
And I hate when you do this, because the general point you're making is not a bad point. For certain players, if you get there early ahead of the big clubs and then there's no interest, then yeah. But when there is reported interest in this guy, Barcelona's interest has been clear since January. Bayern Munich's interest has been clear since January. I even said this on an Arsenal TV. No, in fact, on a Don Robbie stream when Newcastle got taken over, and I got clowned because I said there's no chance Raphinha would end up at Newcastle. They said no, they could go out and get Raphinha. I said no chance. It will never happen, because this is clearly a player that has aspirations to play for a bigger club, and he's going to get the bigger clubs in the summer. And it's the same thing I'm saying now. There's no way Raphinha was going to West Ham, even if you put the money down. And the thing is, if you think I'm taking a piss out of West Ham, I'll even use an example that works against Spurs. When we sold Gareth Bale to Real Madrid, we wanted Di Maria, we wanted Ozil. Where did Di Maria and Ozil end up in that summer? Where did they end up?
But just picking these.
Where did they end up? Di Maria, where did they end up?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is,
where did they end up, bro?
Well, not Spurs. Yeah, not Spurs.
No,
not Spurs.
Ozil went to Arsenal, even though we were ready to put money down for Ozil, and Di Maria stayed for one more season and went to Man United the next season. Why is that? Why is that?
But you're looking at, okay, 2 players, great. There's literally thousands of footballers out there.
I'm giving you an example of players who know their worth. He knows he's worth. He knows he wants to play. He knows he wants to play at a higher level. So why would he join West Ham? It doesn't make sense what you're saying.
But sometimes you might look at it as a stopgap. You go, okay, this club's going to pay me a shitload of money. We're going to put a release clause. You heard a release clause. You heard a release clause. You heard a release clause. You know what release clause is, Tobs?
Why are we arguing
release clause is?
The guy is 25 years old. He's got a World Cup campaign coming up in December. Why on earth would he sign for West Ham when he has the club? Listen. What are you saying? You're talking rubbish. You're talking garbage.
Matisse said to me, Lawless. Matisse said, Lawless. I swear you were linked with him.
What to Matisse? No. What is he saying here? Please.
Wait. Listen, Tobs, you're blowing up a proportion. Matisse said to me, Lawless, I swear you were linked with him in January. Yes, Matisse, we were linked with him in January. Then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, you think that you could be getting, like, come on, man.
No, you always try to pretend as if West Ham have a chance with these players. They have no chance.
You can't take it. You can't sit there and take it. You can't take any.
What? You didn't land any of these players.
West Ham.
Except what? You didn't land any of these guys.
I'm not saying that, but
you've lost out on these players, and you didn't even
any
get
credibility.
What is there to
West
take?
Ham? You can't let things pass, can you?
I can't because you talk rubbish about West Ham. What was the nonsense you said the other day?
Where did I lie?
You said that Areola is the signing of the summer. What a daft statement that is. Who even says something like that? Who even says something?
But I didn't say that. But I didn't say that though. But I didn't say that.
You said Areola is arguably the signing of the summer. I said no.
I did not say that.
Yes, you did.
I did not say that. I will. Let me school you now.
You want me to find the tweet? You want me to
find it because I will tell you now. I said Areola could turn out to be the bargain of the summer. The bargain, not the signing, not the best signing, but the bargain because we got him for 7.5 mil.
And even that is rubbish because we signed you. Man City signed Hairline for 51 million, but you think that Areola for 7 is the bargain of the summer. We signed Perisic for 0, but you think he's the signing of the summer. We signed Basuma for 25 million, but you think Areola is the signing of the summer. That's what you think.
Because I'm saying he could turn out to be the bargain. But if we do the maths, Toby,
that's what you think, bro.
We probably got him for probably about a quarter of his value, of what we could be expecting to pay for people of that quality, right? How much? But no. But you got what? You might have got Basuma for half, If we do the maths, are you good at maths, Tobes? Because if you do the maths, that's not crazy. Haaland, right? Maybe they got him for like half a third of his value, right? If you do the maths, we got Areola for quarter of the value. that's a bargain. 7.7 mil for a keeper of that quality, for that caliber from PSG. It's in contention. Why is that so dismissive to say that? Yeah, he's not in the conversation.
He's not in the conversation for the bargain of the summer because
but you're not even doing the bargain of the summer.
There are at least 5-6 deals.
But you don't know what a bargain is.
I do know what a bargain is. There are at least 5-6 deals that represent more bargain for your money than Areola.
But I'm saying like getting them, like looking at their value and then the price paid.
Honestly,
value versus price paid. Yeah.
The stuff you say, you say these mad things, and then when I put up a counter argument and I get frustrated by the mad things you say, you tell me that I'm taking it to heart. Look at the stuff you're saying. Who says these things? Who says these things? He's the bargain of the summer. How?
Matisse, you got sweet or salty popcorn, bro? What are you going for?
I'm just living my life.
Only you.
I'm just living my life.
Man, I'm just gonna take some sweet popcorn.
All right, listen. Like, look, Matisse, am I being unreasonable here? I said at 7.7 million or whatever it is we paid, he could be the bargain. He could turn out to be the bargain of the summer. He couldn't. Is that unreasonable? Is that really and truly?
It is unreasonable.
For a keeper, they could be paying like 30 mil for him, right? Is that unreasonable to say he could be?
What are you meaning by that, Lawless, in terms of what in Premier League, in overall? Are you comparing these to like all signings so far this summer? Because I don't know that that's the true case. If you're saying that,
I'm not saying that he's going to be the best signing and the best player, and he's going to have like the most impact of all the signings, like Hairline. All I'm saying is like the price that we're paying versus probably what he's worth and what we're expecting to pay. If you do the maths, 7.7 mil. He's probably worth 4 times that, right?
No, he isn't worth 4 times that.
But I'm also looking at the map. I'm not really doing the maths. I'm looking at the player, and I'm thinking, are you now going to go to a next level now that you've got Areola? I would say no. I think he's a good goalkeeper, but I don't look at him and go, do you know what? That was a bargain, and that's the reason West Ham are going to that next level. He's like 10 times better than Fabianski. I'm not sure that he is.
Potts, can I just interject here as well? Yeah, so. Because Lawless thinks that I'm always talking rubbish, yeah? Newcastle have just signed Nick Pope. How much did they spend on Nick Pope?
10 million.
Oh, here we go.
10 million. And over the last couple of years, who has been one of the best English goalkeepers in the Premier League?
To be fair, that is true. That is a good point. That is a really good point.
Burnley, who rarely spend money and stave off relegation most seasons up till last season, who's been one of their best players?
Yeah, good. That's a good point. Okay. That is a good point, Lawless. That is a good point.
So would you tell me that Areola for 7.5 million is more bargain than an England international who's 28, 29 years old, around the same age?
So is
and wait, I ain't finished, and has Premier League experience and was only bought for 10 million, 3 million more, and without the English tax.
I don't care that he's English. I don't give a shit that he's English. Areola, I'd rather.
You said he's one of the bargains of the summer. That's rubbish.
Tarkowski
is available for £0, and he's a decent centre back. So the list is ending.
Can something that's free be a bargain? Can it be a bargain if it's free?
Of course, it can be a bargain.
How can it be a bargain? But to bargain, you have to pay for. There has to be an exchange for it to be a bargain.
Wait.
Have you ever seen?
So you're telling me that paying £0 for something is less of a bargain than paying.
No, I'm not saying it's a bargain. I'm just saying maybe it don't qualify. Have you ever watched Bargain Hunt with David Dickinson? You ever see people give shit for free?
You're talking absolute garbage. It's checkmate. It's checkmate. I've given you.
It's not checkmate.
It's checkmate, bro. Let's move on. It's
every West Ham fan wanted Areola over Nick Pope. I will tell you that for free right now.
Then they're crazy. One of them. Then they're crazy. They're crazy. He's a better
English tax. English tax. No, he's
not English tax. I like Areola. It's not English tax. I like Areola. I don't think he's a bad keeper. I think he's a good signing for West Ham. But Nick Pope has proven to be a better goalkeeper.
He's playing in a much more defensive team.
What were you? What were you? What were you?
We weren't this super defensive team.
What type of football do you play?
We don't play Burnley football. Don't chat shit.
We
don't play Burnley football.
Don't chat shit. West Ham are still, for the most part, a direct team. Yes, you started to play a little bit. You started to play with the ball a little bit more. Yes, but for the most part, you're a direct team.
But we're not known for our defense.
When you're playing against the better sides in the league, you play like Burnley. You play.
And how many of those? How many of those better sides are there compared to what Burnley play against? How many of those?
What are you talking about? So don't bring that defensive football thing into it. Nick Pope flat out has outperformed Areola in this league. He's a better goalkeeper. Simple as.
I'm not having
Simple as.
We'll see, innit? We'll see. Because now Areola's coming in to be our main man.
Areola's not new to this league. He was playing for Fulham 2 years ago, and he was good for Fulham. But Nick Pope was better.
Fulham was shit. Fulham were worse than Burnley.
2 years.
I'm just saying, we'll see, innit? Time will tell. Because Areola's coming in to be our main man. I have every confidence in him. He's young. He's more athletic than Pope.
Bargain of the summer is already done, people.
I said
he said he could be the bargain of the summer.
I'm not even speaking in absolutes here, and he's losing his mind.
All right, James Redmond.
What's so controversial about that?
Everything that you two say to each other is controversial when you both hear it. When you both hear each other's voice, it sounds controversial every time. By the way,
Areola is 1 year younger than Nick Pope. Just to let you know.
There you go. There you go. Add 5 mil to that. Add 5 mil to that.
Crazy, absolutely crazy.
I want to get on.
Years are like dog years, by the way. It's a whole different thing.
So, the guy's crazy.
Oh my god! I swear to God. I want to get on to Gabriel Jesus next, right? Because he's obviously the guy that's going to end up signing in the next couple of days. And Potts, I want to talk about, obviously you said at the start of the show that it's an exciting sign, and I agree with you. It's a player that I would have taken, I think player that Toby would have taken as well at Tottenham when he was all linked to our clubs. Yep. Very, very talented. I think there's definitely more to get out of him as well. I think there's a next level to go to. Definitely a point to prove. Worked with Arteta before. So obviously I don't know Vieira as well, but obviously that looks like a exciting sign, and we'll see how he accommodates and adapts to the Premier League. But Jesus, we actually know, we've seen him week in, week out. My only question for you, I guess, is the pressure. Do you think he can handle the pressure as that 9? Because there's different quotes out there that he prefers to play on the right flank, and then some quotes for the Brazilian national coach saying that he plays all across the front three. He's happy to play any role. Do you think he's ready to shoulder that burden of Arsenal's leading talisman up front, or do you think he could actually probably play on the wings a bit, and then maybe Nketiah gets more game time down the middle? How do you see it?
Yeah, I think it's a good question, and I think the answer is going to be he's going to be hungry. And that was a player that I wanted, one of the reasons I wanted him. And the 2 players that I wanted, because I still feel we need 2 strikers, I wanted Tammy Abraham and Gabriel Jesus because I felt like they both got a point to prove. It's like City and Chelsea have said, nah, so go prove yourself at somewhere else. And I feel like Gabriel Jesus could be a really good signing for us. And I think it's really good that he can play on those 3 positions in the 3 forward roles. I like the fact that he has the opportunity to be a number 9 because from what Big Steve was saying to me, that's a position he thinks he's best at. He thinks that he's a nuisance. He thinks he's a bit of a fox in the box, but also one that can do link-up play. He thinks he can do all of the work rate. And also what I liked what he said was that he'll be a fan favourite because he just gives 110%. I love players like that. Even if their players aren't top quality. We've had players in the past that have been pretty awful, to be honest, but they've always given 110%. Players like Danny Welbeck, players like Alex Iwobi have never really had the quality of Gabriel Jesus, but they give 110%, and fans can kind of get on side with that. So I hope that he can then bring that kind of mentality to Arsenal. Obviously, he's a winner, which is also a good thing because we don't have much. Let's be honest, we don't really have anybody in our team that's a winner. I think Kieran Tierney is our most decorated player, and most of that was at Celtic. So we need some winners. They're all very, very young. 25-year-old who's got experience. I think that's what we need. 100% is experience in his team now. So when I look at Chelsea and Tottenham being linked with him, I think it's a good deal for Arsenal. I'm surprised West Ham weren't linked with him, to be honest, because they're linked with everybody else, Lawless. Do you know what I mean? So maybe Jesus, he could have wanted another challenge and go to West Ham. But no, I do feel personally that it's a really good signing. And I think, to answer your question, Matisse, pressure is going to be massive, of course. However, I do think that there's already been pressure on this guy at Manchester City. And for whatever reason, last season, he wasn't really seen as the main number 9. And I'm not really quite sure why that was. Maybe it's a position that Pep just didn't see him being fit in. But we saw Foden play there, Sterling play there at times. Jesus wasn't really seen as the number 9. And that was a bit of a surprise to me. However, having said that, I hope that he can come in and do what we all hope he can do. I was on Tobs Channel not long ago and he said, what's the kind of expectation for him in terms of goal ratio? And I said 15 to 20 goals because I feel like that's what you should be asking a player of that quality in a centre-forward role. And if I'm honest with you guys, a lack of strikers at Arsenal at the moment. there's a lack of goals massively within this side, and I think that he's going to definitely help with that. So he's one that does excite me for sure. The Fabio Vieira one and the Marquinhos ones, we don't know anything about them. They're young kids and they're unproven, certainly in the Premier League. When it comes to Fabio Vieira, the Luis Diaz stuff that people were talking about when they saw the videos for him, from what I'm being told, Fabio Vieira was involved in quite a lot of the good things that happened with Luis Diaz. So he's obviously a creative player, but he needs to bring that form over to the Premier League. So for me, that's I'll hold my judgment on that until I start to see him in an Arsenal shirt. But certainly with Gabriel Jesus, that's a good signing for Arsenal, in my opinion.
Do you know what it is as well, Toby? Is this player is... I just see him as someone that fits straight into what I think they're trying to do in that forward line. And also the age range that you're going after these players is like, you're 25, you've got Vieira, who's, how old is Vieira? 22. As much as I go on about experience, that's more the backline DM. But I think in that attack, you're going to have a nice balance of just like hungry, young, talented players that all want to prove themselves and thrive. It's just that you need to get consistency out of enough of them at points in the season. It's not even really that they need to do a whole season of consistency. Just you need to be able to rely upon someone at any given moment. The fee is what, 45 million? I think that's a good price as well. I know he's only got a 1 year left as well, but it's still a good price. Is that for you the attack done now? In your opinion, Sorry. Yeah, I got muddled up there. Let me go to Potts first, and I'll go to you.
I think it is done, but I don't think it should be, if that makes sense. I think we are done there. I think Jesus and Nketiah will be the two that we go with. Martinelli has the ability to play in that central role should we get desperate, but I do feel that we need somebody else there. I'm not so sure that Eddie Nketiah proved with his few goals at the back end of last season that he could be a solid option for us. I think he gets a lot of harsh criticism, and maybe he has done from me as well, to be fair, because I've been a harsh critic of Eddie. But actually, it was more towards Arteta, my kind of confusion as to why we keep playing this guy. And then, of course, he got his couple of goals towards the end of the season and started to put in a lot of work rate. And I do like that about Eddie. He does run around, he gives 100%, and he shows some intensity. But I'm not so sure that he's the answer if Jesus was to get injured. So I would look to go for more of a kind of taller profile striker, somebody who can give us a little bit of an aerial threat, somebody who can hold the ball up, be a bit more of a target man. So we have that option. I'm thinking of like an Olivier Giroud type player, and but I just can't see us going for that now. I think it will be Jesus and Nketiah. And of course, it all depends now what happens with Raphinha as to what position we go for. If that isn't to happen, then maybe they'll look to lose that money towards somebody like Victor Osimhen or Tammy Abraham. But I just don't see that happening, if I'm honest, mate.
Toby, how is this? Does this signing scare you in any way, or are you just well done for Arsenal? Keep it moving in a Tottenham perspective. What is it?
It's the latter. It's the latter. Well done for Arsenal. Keep it moving. I'm not going to hide my thoughts on Jesus. Potts knows that. I think he's a sick signing for them. I'm annoyed that Arsenal are signing good players, but grand scheme of things, I'm not really too bothered. Like, it's whatever, man. They lost 110 million pounds worth of attackers in the last 6 months. Like, only an idiot would have expected them to not bolster their team. Like, they have to replace their attack, right? They have to buy a new attack. So they had to go out and sign someone like Gabriel Jesus, but Jesus isn't enough. Their attack as it stands now is still not enough. It's still not good enough for what they need. They need at least one more in. And even when they get that one more in, they need consistency across the board. They need more from Bukayo Saka. He had a great leap last year and is talented. Now they need him to go another step up. They need more from Martinelli. They need more from Emil Smith-Rowe. They need more from Nketiah. And they're going to need more from Jesus. They're going to need him to come in and thrive off that love and start being the striker that people believe he can be, the guy who can actually lead an attack, because that's one thing that he didn't prove at Man City, despite how good he was. He didn't prove that he was good enough to shoulder that responsibility up top in terms of the goal scoring front as well. I'm really intrigued to see how that Jesus move works out. I think it's going to be, personally, I think it's going to be really good for Arsenal. I think he's going to do well. I just don't know what his ceiling is in terms of the goal tally front. Like, I don't know whether he's going to be a 15 Premier League goal a season guy. I don't know if he's going to be a 20 goal a season Premier League goal season guy. But I hear Potts where like he has to set his ambitions high in terms of the goal scoring front. Like when you lose a striker like Aubameyang, yeah, he was on his way out and probably did need replacing. But when you lose a guy who was automatically guaranteeing you minimum 25 goals all comps, hitting over 20 Premier League goals a season, someone's going to have to fill that void. And Jesus coming in for 45 million with a year left in his contract, that's big money. Yeah. So he's going to come in and he's going to have to deliver as much as I rate him, as much as we all rate him. Now he's got to come in and do the job. So I think it's a really smart signing for them. And I think he'll do well, but I just don't know what well means relative to what standard. Is it well by our standard of him? Is it well by what Potts is expecting of him? I don't know. So we have to wait and see. But no, I'm not actually worried. Like contrary to what some Spurs fans are saying, I don't look at Jesus or even the move for Raphinha. It doesn't really.
You'd still rather have your front three, wouldn't you?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't really worry me, and I'm not saying that to disrespect the team because I've literally just spent like 5 minutes.
No, it's facts though.
I'm saying it because we genuinely have a better attack. Like their priorities are different to ours. So Arsenal going for Raphinha and Jesus, I expect that because they need to replace their attack. We don't have that major need to literally massively upgrade our attack this summer in comparison to them. We only need one like mainstay attack, one sort of relatively good signing in attack, and that signing isn't even coming in to be a guaranteed starter. Yeah, that signing is coming in to compete with what's already working for us, and maybe even challenge them for a spot when they're not up to scratch. Whereas at Arsenal, they're going there and they're going straight into the first team.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, first 11.
It'll be interesting. Potts, how many goals? I mean, I think we were saying before we started recording how many goals we would be looking for from Jesus to say it's a successful season. For me personally, I think if you're a striker going into any team, especially any top 6 team who create chances, I know Arsenal fans were saying at some points there was creativity problems, but then you've got Vieira coming in. You'd expect him to help you create more chances as well. He's meant to be a very good passer of the ball, good vision. Surely the target's always got to be 15 goals, isn't it?
Yeah, 15 for me. And I think Ødegaard's going to have a lot to play in this. This season, this guy has to start getting, like, actually contributing more for me. I like his pretty football. I think he's a technically gifted lad. But I know he's young, or 23 nearly now, but he's got enough experience to know that he can drive the other kids around him forward now. And I do feel that he needs to now start inputting with, trying to hit double figures like Saka and Smith Rowe are doing, because for me, that's the kind of target for an attacking midfielder. We need goals from midfield as well. We can't all just rely now on Jesus. It isn't going to be now Jesus is here, all of our problems are fixed. These guys have still got to chip in as well, and Ødegaard's no different to Saka, Smith Rowe, Martinelli, and if we do get another Raphinha type. I think with Fabio Vieira, it's going to be interesting to see how he fits into this mould, if he's going to go wide, if he's going to actually be a kind of competition for places with Ødegaard. Is he going to play in that kind of left 8 and do like what Man City do, where Partey holds and then Ødegaard and Vieira will be either side of Partey? We're going to yet to be seen for what happens with our kind of number 8 with Xhaka, or if we do get a Tielemans type player. So it's going to be interesting because we're spending a lot of money from what we're being told, and it really is quite exciting as far as Arsenal are concerned. But 15 goals for Gabriel Jesus would be a season 100%. I think he's only done that twice.
All comps.
Say again, bro.
Is that all comps or Prem goals?
No, I go 15 for the league, mate. Yeah, I go 15 for the league. Yeah,
I was going to say.
Yeah, especially when you got Europa League games and them little
exactly. We're back in
them little group stage stat pads. You know what I'm saying?
Carabao, Carabao, FA Cup early rounds. I was sitting there thinking, no, really, is that the standard? Like,
no, it's got to be in the league. I think one thing I will say as well, because I know you said, and I agree with you completely, if Arteta doesn't get top 4 after being completely backed and getting a what is looking like going to be an impressive window, if you get, say, Martinez and you get Tielemans, say you add those 2 players in as well, and there's some real depth, Saliba comes back, if he does get sacked at the end of the season and say he doesn't make top 4, the one thing I will say about him is he's left a very nice squad for the next manager. I will say that. As long as you appoint the right type of manager, he's definitely left a very nice. Like there's no it's not like Chelsea and Man United where you feel like you got to cleanse the squad and you got to have an overhaul. Like he's really
good point.
It's a very clean squad to come into. It's teachable. Do you know what I mean? They're technical.
Well,
they're young.
He's had £450 million spent on it by the end of this window, from what you hear. So you'd like it to be half decent. And I think you're right. I would have got rid of him anyway. You know, I would have got rid of him. I would have got rid of him the last 2 seasons. So I would have got rid of him after we started getting battered in 2020 at home. But then he had to go after we lost to Unai Emery, in my opinion, against Villarreal. He stayed. I would have got rid of him after the last season for bottling it at the end, but of course he didn't, and he's staying. So if we're going to back him again with another close to 200 million, which is being reported, and let's be honest, it actually is when you count up the number of money we're spending on Jesus, potentially Raphinha, Fabio Vieira, Tielemans and Martinez, who are all the rumours we've been linked with. I'm looking at it now thinking, do you know what, that is close to 200 million, and this guy needs to start performing now then, because there's no more excuses next season for Arsenal fans. You know, there's no more, you know, COVID got in the way, injuries have struggled, it's his first job, he needs more windows, this isn't his squad. We need so many excuses for this guy. They're already starting, a few people, as someone voice noted me yesterday and said, the World Cup's going to mess up Arsenal's season. Arteta needs a full season without the World Cup in the way. Let's just stop making excuses already. Let's actually start the season first, yeah? I will say this, and I'll end on this. I believe my thoughts were going towards, my fingers were pointing towards Stan Kroenke to say, what are you going to do? He's showed us what he's going to do. He's going to give him another £200 million. But my fingers are staying pointing at him because they're saying, if we don't start this season well, and it looks like it's going downhill like last season's did to start with, what are you going to do about it, mate? Because we saw how last season ended. If you're going to stick with this guy, then you're showing me that you actually do not care that this money is being spent and you're not getting any reward from it. Because we've seen Stanley win a Stanley Cup now. We've seen Stanley win the Super Bowl. So now, what's going to happen in England? Is he going to try to do stuff with Arsenal? Because at the moment, the American sports are looking like they're starting to move forward. So is Arsenal are they of the same ambition with Arsenal as they are in America? Because if the answer is yes, I think we could be excited for the next few years. If the answer is no, and we don't care, and we're just letting Arteta and Edu do what they want with the money, that's worrying for me. Because for the last 3 seasons, and what will be his 4th season now in charge of Arsenal, believe it or not, Arteta, there will be some problems moving forward if we're going to just stick with this guy, whatever happens. Because if we get outside of the Champions League this time, after spending 450 million, I don't understand what the excuses will be. I really don't.
Yeah, you know what's because the ownership point is interesting, because I think the grievance with you guys is it's a bit similar to us in the sense where you weren't spending enough money, so they weren't pumping money in. Now they're pumping money in, but they've just not put the right people in place to actually spend that money or use that money to properly propel you. But I just think at this point, there's no excuses for the people that are currently in power now. Like, they spent 100 million in Arteta's first full season, something like that. They spent 160 odd million last season. They're now set to spend more than that this summer, from what we hear. Fabio Vieira cost around £35 million. Jesus is going to cost close to £50 million. If Lisandro Martinez comes in, he's going to cost close to 40 million quid. If Raphinha comes in, he's going to cost close to like 65 million pound. And we're hearing that you lot still might be in for Tielemans as well. So, boy, the money is there. The money is there, and it looks like it's. I mean,
if that happens, that's an unbelievable window. And there's no Arsenal fan that can complain with that window. But it's a results business, man. You can't have all them players, all this backing, and not get a reward from it, and at least some progress. And, you know, I've had fights with Arsenal fans over what this season expectations are. And for me, it's give me Champions League football or go. It's that simple. I can't be dealing with Europe. We're back in Europe. You can't. That's just not good enough for me. It needs to be Champions League through the league or Europa League. I think we should be going to try and win that Europa League, looking at what West Ham did last season, seeing the teams that are in it this year. I'm not looking at going, wow, they're unbeatable. So we should be looking to try and win that competition and secure a top 4 finish. And that's the very bare minimum as far as I'm concerned.
I was going to say as well, before we come to a close, if we was to leave everybody's squads as they are right now, which is nuts for me because we haven't brought in a single player yet, but we've got rid of Lukaku, so we'll see. Where does everybody think they would finish if they was to just leave their squad? Because I know everybody still wants to do things with their squad. I know Tottenham, Tobs was saying he still wants that defense and that right wing back spot sorted as well.
I think Tottenham will come.
Would you be?
I think Tottenham will come third, Chelsea fourth, Arsenal fifth if it stays like this.
Yeah, I could see us probably coming seventh again. I think, let me just point this out with Arsenal because I didn't even say this, but because there was a big sort of Gabriel Jesus wankfest from Tobs that I think everyone's massively overrating the impact that Jesus will have. I just have to say that. I have to put that out there. So, yeah, massively. I think I think he's a really good player, don't get me wrong, but he's not the player. He's not going to be the player or have the impact that people are proclaiming that he will have. And I'm saying that right now. So
what type of impact? I'm not even trying to argue with you. I'm just asking, what type of impact do you think that people are saying he's going to have? Like
people don't. I see it. Yeah, I think a lot of people are acting like and talking like I'm not. And listen, I'm not. Dan's obviously said 15 goals is a minimum he expects, and that's what he should be doing. I think he may just about hit that. He's coming from a much better team, like the gulf between Man City and Arsenal is crazy. And now he's expecting to do more numbers at Arsenal than he did at Man City. I think them expectations are crazy. People are talking about 25 goals, all comps and things like that. I think that's a bit...
He can do, but you look at the competitions they're going to play in, yeah? They're going to be playing Europa League football. I don't know who's going to start out him and Nketiah. I imagine Nketiah will start more Europa League matches, but I think for the games that are a bit more important, you imagine Jesus will start, and you imagine he'll share the load with Nketiah. They got FA Cup, they got League Cup, and they got the Premier League. Yeah, so that's 4 competitions they're going to be in next season.
All right, and let me ask you this, Dan. Right, if Quillian Jesus, if Jesus gets hat trick against Fulham, yeah, he bangs multiple goals against Burton Albion in the freaking Carabao Cup. Then he bangs a load of goals against Nottingham Forest and gets to that tally. And then that's it. So he's got 15 goals and 20 in all comps. Are you happy, even though that, he's stat padded in all of these games? He's took a few pens here and there. It's not just the numbers. It's being able to step up when it counts and score in
I think it's a good point. Yeah, I think it's a great point. I don't think he will be playing in those games, if I'm honest with you. I think it will be Eddie who plays against Burton Albion and Forest. But if he doesn't, and he does play, and he only scores against those small teams, and he doesn't really do it in the Premier League and only in the Europa League and the Carabao Cup games, then of course we'll question what he's bringing to the team in terms of us to push us up the league. So I think it's a good point. But I do see him scoring Premier League goals. I don't know that he will get 20 goals in the Premier League. I think that's a he's got to have a good season for that.
I don't think he'll get even 15 in the Prem.
You might be right, bro. You might be right. You might be right.
15. We've seen
he can get it, but I don't think he will. There's a difference.
Yeah,
but I don't think he will.
You got the likes of Jota hitting 15. You got the likes of Patrick Bamford in his first season hitting in the league.
Vardy got 15, and he was.
You got the likes of Dominic Calvert-Lewin who have hit 16, 17. Ollie Watkins who have hit 14. I think for a guy who's going to be playing the bulk of Arsenal's games as the leading striker, like 15 has to be.
Yeah,
you're even probably. I think I'm even going too low with 15. Like
I think 15 is always the base.
It has to be the minimum. So I think for a guy who didn't start regularly for Man City, if you look at his goal to game ratio, his goals per 90, he's more than capable of hitting 15. And I fully expect.
So Arteta knows something that Pep don't. Yeah, Pep sitting.
I don't think it's that. I just think.
He's not good enough to be the leader man for Man City. He isn't.
Yeah, it's a different level. They're chasing the title, and he's also played him out wide. I think he played 15 games out on the right flank for Pep last season. So it's a bit. I think it's a bit different. But
the way I see it, like Jesus, he can be a secondary player for Man City, but I don't think he showed enough to suggest that he could be the leading guy for Man City. And I think the Pep example is a bit harsh because we all know that Pep heavily rotates his attack. He really does.
So but then why was no better clubs coming in for Jesus then? Why no one put a bid in? He was linked with Spurs. He was linked with Chelsea. he was linked with clubs, but the only club that actually put a serious bid in was Arsenal.
Well, because obviously the Arsenal fans will have you believe that he's in love with Arteta, he's in love with Edu, and he's got the allure of Arsenal's culture, etc., etc. But truthfully, I think he's chosen them because it's the place where he knows he's 1,000% guaranteed minutes, and I think at this point he needs to play.
It was the only choice, though. That's what I'm saying to you. It was the only choice.
I don't think
because who else put a bid? But who else bid?
No, you're right. You're right. I didn't see many, but I don't think we put a bid in. I think we were interested, but I don't think we put a bid in. I think you got a fair point there. But
for him to choose you, you have to have a bid accepted for him to actually be able to.
I hear it. I hear it. But all I'm saying is this: I think with him, his people, his camp, I think they're going to prioritize like regular football. Like I think there's no way he's leaving the champions, where he's a rotation player, to go to another team and be a rotation player.
I agree. Yeah. He's not going to go to Tottenham or Chelsea and sit on the bench.
And, no chance. And for the record, I don't think he would have sat on the bench at Chelsea. I think he would have started.
At Chelsea, I think you're right. Yeah,
he would have started. But I think it's more to the fact that they have already got way too many attackers in that team. Obviously, most of them aren't really good enough, but they got way too many attackers in the team. I think his pathway to uninterrupted first team football at Arsenal is clearer.
Yeah. Well, listen, we got to wrap up because I know Potts has got a show coming up. Guys, that you're listening in the chat, make sure you leave any questions you have for anybody on the panel in the comment section, and then I will be probably going through some of them at the start of next week's show. We'll pick the best ones and we'll ask any questions to the panel that you have to make it more interactive for you guys, obviously, because it's not live as it used to be. They've been questioning some of Lawless's ambition for certain signings, so I want to see if they got any questions for Lawless in terms of players coming in.
Ask anything.
Potts, let them know where to find you, bro. Pleasure, absolute pleasure.
Thank you, boys. At DanArsenal87 on Instagram and Twitter, and Football's 12th Man on YouTube, new channel. If you can come over, I'd love a subscribe. Cheers, guys.
There you go. Lawless, bro. Let them know. Pleasure as always.
At the Lawless on Twitter. Like I said, come and chat to me and West Ham Fan TV on everything else. And looking forward to checking out Dan's Troops video as well. That should be good, man.
And Tobs, bro. Let them know.
TapinTobs on all socials. I might even do a stream tonight, just talk about all the transfers that's going on. Why not? Maybe I might do one tonight.
The Spurs fans are happy now. I'm seeing a lot of smiley faces, even throughout as well as giving it on the TL. So listen, guys, make sure you subscribe to all the channels. Links will be in the description. For me as well, smash up the icons. Like I said, leave your comments down below, and I will see you guys for the next upload in a bit, people. Big up. Peace.